young. And something kind of too unique to miss out on.
Yeah. And then it's been a whirlwind ever since.
Yeah.
I feel like I should pull out a chair for you. So when I look at you, I see an absolutely beautiful, ridiculously tall, lean, gorgeous woman.
Well, thank you. Very sweet.
So the question is, do you identify yourself as a woman?
For me, it's not that important. I mean, if someone asks me, do I refer to you as a boy or as a girl? I'm not offended if they refer to me as a girl, but if I'll tell them, I refer to you as a boy. But at this point, my career is based on gender fluidity, and I do like to play with that more than just an artistic level. I'd like to play with it in daily life. So yeah, at the end of the day, for me, it's the definition isn't so strong.
Your movements are very feminine, and I'm wondering if that's because you're dressed. Well, you're dressed manly and womanly at the same time. You've got.
It's what today's fashion really is. I think it's definitely moving into a very unisex direction. So I think this is a good example of that.
So if we take it away from fashion though and into a bigger realm, the idea, if we take it out of fashion into sort of a bigger realm, and we see there's always been two genders.
Yeah.
There is male and there is female.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a third gender?
I think there's always been male and female, and there's always been in between. It's just the in between doesn't have a place so much. But I think if gender wasn't so important, if it didn't affect the way people treated you, or the opportunities you have in life, like nationality didn't or anything else, it wouldn't be such a big deal. The in between, or someone wanting to explore the in-between or place themselves in between.
Do you feel different when your dress is just a boy? Without the makeup, without the hair done and the headband on?
I mean, I don't. For me, it's I don't put on costumes. I mean, when I take all that off, I still feel very comfortable with myself. I probably wouldn't feel, if I was extremely muscly and hairy, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable. So it's with me, I'm quite lucky that how I feel inside pretty much matches what I look like outside. And a lot of people, there are a lot of people that don't get that luxury.
How do you explain it to them then? There will be people who will want to identify you as a cross-dresser. Are you a cross-dresser?
Well, a cross-dresser is someone, usually a male who puts on women's clothes for sexual arousal. I don't get sexually aroused when I put women's clothes on. That's, cross-dressers, transvestites, the same thing.
You're just a little bit of both. You are a bit boy and a bit girl, and together that makes Andrej?
Yeah, it sometimes can. But, gender doesn't make me who I am. I mean, I don't think you can subdue your whole character to your gender. Because sometimes people are like, well, we don't know what you are. Like, almost like your whole humanity disappears when your gender does, you know what I mean? But I think there's more to a human being than just the gender.
So do you love boys or do you love girls?
I love love. In all shapes and in all forms.
So that the fluidity that we see in the way you present yourself extends to your sexuality as well?
Definitely. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a very sexual person, but I'm an emotional. I do believe in love, and I'm definitely open to it from both sides.
Australia, your homeland, recently made a decision that Australia recently took steps that sort of exemplifies from a paper pusher sort of a way what you represent in the fashion world, which is extending a third tick on the box of gender. Were you following that at all?
You know, I recently learned of it, which surprised me because I feel like I should have been on top of this, especially because it's Australia and the issue. But you know, it's definitely a step forward. I wouldn't say it's a huge step forward, but it's definitely a step forward in the right direction, because transgender people or intersex people do suffer from a lack of legal protection and representation. So yeah, it does. I think it's something that would make life easier, and it wouldn't make life harder for the rest of the population. So I don't see why it hasn't happened before, and why it shouldn't be enforced everywhere else in the world.
Do you think we make too big of a deal of defining someone by their gender?
Definitely, but I think that's one of the flaws of the society. We like to define someone, on their race or on their gender or on their appearance, all things that really aren't the biggest part of, a person's soul being.
Do you wish you were a girl?
Well, if I wanted to be a girl, what would I have to change?
So there's no desire. You didn't grow up wishing you were a girl.
Well, I definitely grew up, playing with girls and playing girly things and wanting to look pretty. And then, now I can do all those things. So.
Okay,
What is being a woman at the end of the day?
What is being a woman at the end of the day? You think we're too hung up on sort of the anatomical?
Yeah, I think that definitely hang up on what's downstairs.